Hello, Craig. We just saw the newest Karate Kid movie called Karate Kid Legends. We don't have Daniel with us, who is also a big fan of the Miyagi-Verse. So, Craig, with all that being said, you just saw Karate Kid Legends. I just saw it. What did you think of it?
Why does it even exist?
You're right. Why does this exist? Well, they want to piggyback off of COBRA Kai, and this is their way of putting Mr. Han from the Karate Kid 2010 into the Miyagi-Verse. I know the Jaden Smith one with Jackie Chan was financially successful, but that one was derivative of the original one. Dale and I talked about it last week. So this is the issue you have with this kind of movie is, well, what do you do? And the trailers were unforgiving because the trailers made it look like the same movie as the original and even the 2010. And it kind of is, but it kind of isn't at the same time. And it's like my wish is half granted, but I'm still not satisfied because, well, let's just get into spoilers. A majority of the movie is spent with, I believe his name is Lee. Long story short, in China, Jackie Chan is now a Shifu, which means master. In China, in Beijing, he is teaching a whole new generation of kung fu to kids, and his niece, right? Was that his
Nephew.
niece? Well, no, his mom, Lee's
Oh yeah,
mom.
yeah, that was his niece, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Han's niece is gonna go take her son Lee to New York to kind of get a fresh start, and then there's kind of a reason why. So they go to New York. Lee meets this girl whose father runs a pizzeria, but who's getting hassled by loan sharks. And he spends a majority of the movie helping the father train and learn kung fu to help him fight in a boxing match. A good half is dedicated to that because Ralph Macchio, if you're under the impression that throughout the whole movie Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan would be teaming up together and helping this kid throughout the whole movie, you'll be very disappointed. Ralph Macchio probably shows up in the last half hour. The movie's only 94 minutes. So he is barely in the movie, Ralph
Even Jackie
Macchio.
Chan's not in it much.
Yeah, Jackie Chan is only in the beginning, and then once the guy fails at the boxing fight because his opponent is working for the loan sharks, and he knocks the ref over, which he should have been disqualified, and he takes a cheap shot, should have been disqualified, and the guy should have won the fight by default.
Well, I
But
think we should expand on that a little bit. It wasn't just he took a cheap shot at the ref, he elbowed Victor, and then after he
yes,
elbowed him,
Victor's
the
the
ref was
name.
like, hey, that's a penalty. So he punches the ref in the face and starts throwing more elbows into Victor's face and starts punching him while he's on the ground. Clearly, he would have been disqualified and thrown out.
Probably arrested too. But yes, I think that's the most pivotal thing when you're talking about this movie and why it's not disappointing, but just a big miss is that the whole first half has nothing. It's just this guy who's very well equipped in kung fu helping an adult. It's not what you would expect, which I
Well, it's a
guess,
twist. It's a
yeah,
twist, you know,
it's
because
a
now he's
twist.
helping the adult as opposed to the adult helping him.
But it's not a good twist. But again, this is the hole you run into when you're doing the same thing again. And I guess this is their way of saying, well, we're kind of not. But then after that whole section, the movie restarts with Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio rushing to teach this guy because I think they said they have 10 days to help Lee prepare for the Five Boroughs tournament, which we'll get to in a second because that was hilarious.
But he spends 2 of those days traveling to California for some reason to get Daniel-san
Yes.
on a plane to New York.
Yes, so that's like, yeah, 2 days gone. And one thing that was annoying too is that Jackie Chan seeks out Ralph Macchio. He seeks out Daniel-san to help him learn both forms of karate, but he still bickers with him about what's better.
Yes, I kept thinking that too. I mean, story-wise, I don't think there was a reason to just like you didn't have to have Daniel-san in the movie. For some
No,
reason,
not at
there was no
all.
reason for it.
Yeah.
But okay, say you try to let's try to bring him in because he's the Karate Kid. He has to be in every Karate Kid movie except for the fourth one and the reboot. But the point is, we have to bring him back. He's like the face of the franchise. They bring him back and they're just bickering with Jackie Chan, like who's the better? Like they're saying, oh, my way's better, my way's better. Then why bring him in? If you think the ways are equal, wouldn't you be happy for him to learn your way or
But
the
did
other
they
way?
but did they establish, Craig, that Miyagi-Do was taught and formed from the ancient art of kung fu? They said that in the beginning because they showed a flashback of Mr. Miyagi talking to a young Daniel, and he was talking about the genesis of the Miyagi and how Shimpo Miyagi, which is one of Miyagi's ancestors, washed up in China, and then that's where Mr. Han's family helped him out. So, yeah, the Miyagi-Do karate is from China, from Mr. Han's family.
Oh, also, I rewatched that scene, and I think when they cut to the animations when I think they made it up,
Yeah, I watched some of it too. It did sound like a voice alike.
or maybe AI, because I rewatched the scene and he says, yeah, he learns kung fu and then he takes this little, the thing that starts spinning like
Yes, yes.
with their wrists. So, because I was wondering, like, I don't remember him saying this, like the two branches, one tree. Because I'm pretty sure we would have heard it in Cobra Kai and seen a flashback to it. So yeah, that was all made up. And again, I don't know why they would have to bring in Daniel San.
Well, Craig, you said early on that why does this movie exist? But why didn't you tell the audience what you thought about the movie, good, bad, and then we'll continue our stream.
It's hard to say because it's not. I wouldn't say it's bad. If this was in a vacuum, I think it would be like a 6 out of 10. But because it's a sequel and it comes out right after Cobra Kai, which is the best sequel to the Karate Kid movie, I can't see the reason why you'd ever really want to watch this. There's something new, something special. It doesn't really do anything that makes you want to watch this. Like if you like the Karate Kid, you don't really care to watch the second or third one, you could watch Cobra Kai, and it's a good show. I think it's a good sequel, seeing what happens and kind of redoing those kinds like tropes and characters into a different setting. This is just trying so hard not to be the original that it ends up just being forgettable.
Yeah, like I said, the first half or so, maybe the first hour, is dedicated to Lee helping the father out, and then it just changes gears and becomes a rehash of all the other Karate Kid movies. Gotta do this tournament to win, to prove that you're the best. Done it
But it doesn't.
before. Yeah, what
But
do you say?
it doesn't match the original because again, not the original was like this greatest thing ever, but it's a good movie. It's a classic. And it misses some of the stuff that the original had, like, Daniel-san forming the relationship with Mr. Miyagi, like the kind of finding he didn't have a father or his father died when he was young. Mr. Miyagi lost his family, so they have that bond that grows over the course of the movie. You've got, Johnny Lawrence antagonizing Daniel-san, so
Yeah, that was
that
a, not to cut you off, but that was a big thing missing where they hype up this guy who is the bitter ex-lover of the girl that Lee likes or whatever, and he's supposed to be this big prodigy. What was their tagline at their gym? It was like "fight to kill." Do you remember that? It got a chuckle out of me in the theater.
I just remember it looked like a very derivative Cobra Kai. It should have just
Yeah,
been Cobra Kai. That would have been
but
hilarious. Like
the
Terry
point
Silver.
is, there is only, I believe, one scene of the guy instigating Lee.
There's two, right?
Or two, whatever. But the point is, in the original one, and even in the Jane Smith one, there is that constant barrage of them antagonizing Ralph Macchio and whatever Jane Smith's character's name was. But
The
there
guy
were,
whose face is tattooed on Sal's leg.
yes, it happened throughout the entire movie. In this one, that doesn't happen. And to your point too about the movie had the developing relationship between Miyagi and Daniel-san. There's already an established relationship between Jackie Chan and Lee. So we don't even get those scenes of them getting to know each other because that's all off screen already. And there's nothing new that the movie presents about their relationship at all.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's got to use karate to work through his trauma, which I don't know how that'd really help him. Like his trauma is that his brother got killed by some thugs. I don't know how learning karate is gonna really help you get over that.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the big backstory where Lee froze when, after a tournament his brother won, I believe, in China. They got jumped by bitter rivals who lost, and one of them pulls out a knife, and Lee stands there, and mind you, they're outnumbered, and they straight up murder Lee's brother in cold blood. I don't even know what to say
Like,
to that.
well, it's like I can
It's
get
not
why he'd
comparable.
freeze. He's
Yeah,
young.
he's a
I understand
kid.
why he's guilty too. Like I'm not gonna sit there and say he should have, because people in movies always think that everyone's gonna act rationally all the time. It's not always the case. I can see why he might freeze. I can see why it bothers him, but I don't see why doing more kung fu is supposed to help with that.
Yeah, they had a weapon, and you are outnumbered. There's
Well,
really nothing.
it's like a way of survivor's guilt. Like you don't go back to war to get over it. I mean, there's other ways to treat that. I
Yes.
can't imagine to tell a soldier like, "Oh, you're the one that survived that gun that attack. Go fight another battle. See if that helps you. Go kill more people. See if that drowns the soul,
Yeah.
drowns down the guilt."
Yeah, so that was not very well developed at all in the movie.
And even the moments they could have taken where maybe he's rebonding with Mr. Han, they call in Daniel-san, so it's like instead of him, those two together, it's like those three, and it's not the same. You get some stranger and like your weird great uncle
Well,
bickering.
yeah, everyone is essentially strangers to each other. Well, I should say everyone because Lee and Mr. Han know each other. But Jackie Chan just shows up to Mr. Miyagi's house. And he's like, oh, I knew Miyagi before you, or no, after you. Because then he says how Miyagi always spoke highly of you. Even though I feel like it's established in the Karate Kid movies that Daniel-san is really the only person that Miyagi talks to. I don't know where he popped his head in.
Is Mr. Miyagi like the most important person? Is he like the anchor being of the Miyagi-Verse?
Yes, he is. He is the most important person in the Miyagi-Verse.
Because I feel like everybody meets. I mean, this is even like a bit of a problem in Cobra Kai. Like everyone seems to know him. Everyone meets him. Everyone talks about how great he is. And let's say he's a bad guy secretly. It's just at some point, not everybody can know him.
Yeah, they always talk about how he influences everyone's life for the better, like he's Jesus.
He saved you. He died for your sins.
He died for your karate sins.
He's karate Jesus.
Yeah, well, that's essentially how they treat him.
Yeah.
He's this omnipotent being.
Because again, this is going more to Cobra Kai, but I feel like that tends to dilute the relationship and what Daniel-san meant to him in the original one. Where if he was always this great person beforehand, then why did he really need to bond with Daniel-san? Like the point that he was like maybe a troubled person, he was lonely, and being with Daniel-san kind of made him a better person. If he was already a perfect person right before, then well, then
Yeah, they
Daniel-san's
kind of helped
relationship is
each
less
other
special.
out.
Yeah.
Not
Like I
yet.
know, I know they don't want to be disrespectful either because he's dead, and they want to disrespect the dad and make him look bad. Not saying to make him look bad, but he doesn't have to be Mr. Perfect all the time either.
Yeah, there's a fine line between at least adding more nuance and then just trashing the legacy of an actor who is no longer with us. Disney would do the latter, I'm sure, but yeah, you don't have to make him Mr. Perfect, who everyone he's involved with, he changes their lives for the better. I like that Mr. Miyagi was kind of a recluse, and then he interacted with a few people, but the few people he did interact, that's where you could have the kind of positive impact he had on those few people.
Yeah, 'cause
Everyone
it
knowing
shows
him
you
is
how
silly.
like how they helped each other.
Yeah, but I guess it not clever, but it is a good way how they integrate Mr. Han being in the Miyagi-Verse. Because for the longest time, I think they wanted to do sequels to the Mr. Han Karate Kid. So now it's all in the Miyagi-Verse. Can we
How
talk?
come they didn't bring
Oh,
in the next Karate Kid? I forget the girl.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah, why didn't they bring her in? So they've all three training him.
Oh, well, Cobra Kai tried. Can we talk about editing? I thought the editing in this movie was horrendous. They had Disney Channel level style of editing. And I'm talking about old Disney Channel shows where I'll have examples of this, but their transitions into scenes would be spliced in half and then the cut would move over. It was very amateurish edits to get to the next scene. And if anyone's seen the movie, they know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know like the special effects, like the little
The
those
lines
video game
dividing the
graphics.
screen, and then
Oh, yes.
yeah, those kind of transitions.
Remind me of Ang Lee's Hulk, but not as
Well,
bad.
that was done on purpose to be like a comic book, but this one, it was just so out of place.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, it was super stylized at the Beijing dojo that Mr. Han teaches, and they have like these weird, vibrant, bright subtitles attached to every person because it's a whole room of students, and it's all translating for everyone speaking to Mr. Han. And then the rest of the movie, just standard white subtitles. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, I guess I can only imagine like they were just started doing that. It's like, God, this is too much work. Let's just go back to the standard boring
Yeah.
subtitles.
It was super stylized because it had a beginning cartoon animation detailing what happened to Shimpo Miyagi or whatever, and then it cuts to the Beijing, and then it's just those weird animatics for the subtitles over all those kids.
I mean,
It
to be
felt like
honest,
a
I
video
wouldn't.
game.
Yeah, it did. I wouldn't have minded. I didn't mind the subtitles part because I don't know. I feel like in movies with people speaking different languages, just kind of reading the text is boring. At least they can kind of maybe make it a little more interesting. It didn't bother me as much, but I know what you're saying with the rest of the
Well,
stuff. Where it's
yeah.
like,
If you do that in the beginning, that's fine, but do it for the whole movie.
yeah.
Don't do it for like 3 minutes.
I mean, I've always liked what they did in what's that called? The Hunt for Red October.
I actually
Ever
never
see that
seen
one?
that. No, yeah, that's a Sean Connery one though, right?
Yes. But in the beginning of the movie, they have them speaking Russian because they're all Russians. But I think like a few minutes in, they just kind of switch to English to kind of get you to know, like, they're speaking Russian to each other, but for the audience's purpose, they're speaking English.
Ah, yeah.
So I feel like that kind of works too, because people say, "Oh, would they really be speaking English?" Obviously not, but you're giving the movie to an English-speaking audience, so you have
Yeah.
them speak English. Like I don't see what the big deal is, but
Yeah.
it's my rant on subtitles.
A very nice rant, Craig. Can we also talk about how kind of depressing it is seeing Jackie Chan so old? It's kind of sad.
Yeah, because I guess people who don't obviously wouldn't know much about us, but we grew up watching a lot of old Jackie Chan's movies. And
Jackie Chan Adventures.
well, I remember that show too, but he wasn't in that show.
No, but it was his likeness, obviously. He wore khakis and a blue sweater, I remember.
Yes, and I
And
remember
there's a little
his-
girl and an old guy.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think I forget like the main goon became one of the allies. He was like the giant, almost like sumo wrestler looking guy.
Yes, I think so. I remember, the Jackie Chan Adventures. And
Oh,
obviously Rush Hour. This made me rewatch some of Rush Hour, some clips.
What's up? My name.
Except for we all grew up watching old Jackie Chan movies like him. I don't know the name of all the movies, but like I don't remember the name of the movies.
Who
But like,
am I? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
yeah, like they're like fighting in the park and he has the metal pipe and like they're chasing him. He's like fighting off like 10 people. Oh, his movies were great. Like I look the fight scenes were great. Like he's probably the reason why we love our action movies, watching Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah, so it's just kind of sad seeing
Yeah.
him in his 70s now. But listen, he did it. He looked, he's not obviously as fast as he used to be, but in this movie, he did some stuff. It's still
That was
charming to see him do stuff.
I was wondering if that was him when they attacked him in the apartment.
It might have been.
Because I don't know, I feel like he moved maybe a little too fast for a 70-year-old man.
They could have
but
sped it up.
I don't
Listen,
think they sped it up.
if there is any 70-year-old man that could do that, it is definitely Jackie Chan.
Yeah, but you're right. I find it very sad.
Yeah, it was a little depressing seeing him so old. Oh, Jackie Chan.
And we're big Jackie Chan movie fans. Oh, I thought it was funny. His friend Alan.
Yes, he kind
When
of.
he goes,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be well. He had that one joke in the beginning when we first met him, which I thought was funny, where he's at the public library to get tutoring on calculus, which is really easy. And he's like, "Oh, you don't get my mom. She's really tough." And he has a black eye because the rival gave it to him. He goes, "Did your mom give you that black eye?"
Yeah, he's like, "Are you safe at home?"
Do I have to call Child Protective Services?
That was probably the best joke of the movie.
Yes, I know because he kind of loves violence and like stuff like that. That gave you probably the biggest chuckle.
It did. Well, no, I think the biggest chuckle, and we can finally talk about this now, is the Five Boroughs tournament. It literally takes place outside at like a schoolyard, a Brooklyn schoolyard, where you see the streets and everything.
And
And
they're fighting on asphalt and concrete.
yeah, one of the fights took place under a bridge. It was insane. It looked like underground fighting, but it was out in the public.
Like I can only imagine like some crackhead was gonna come and join the fight.
Yeah, Sensei Whippets.
Sensei meth head. I remember we both looked at each other like, because how long we known each other. It's like we both knew the exact same thing. Like this is hilarious. Like they're like basically a bunch of homeless people fighting each other for like rich man's entertainment.
Yeah, I thought because I don't think they showed any of the fight scenes in the trailer. I might be wrong, or at least any of the fight scenes from the Five Boroughs. I was under the impression it would be taking place at like a school gym or some recreation center. But no, it's outside on like asphalt concrete or on a basketball court. It was insane.
And maybe they'll say, "Oh, well, that's how you know it's Brooklyn. That's how you know it's New York because we were playing outside in, like the skyscraper. Like the final one's on top of a skyscraper. Like I was really hoping that someone's gonna get kicked off the skyscraper.
No, something like that would happen in Cobra Kai.
It would, but I thought that'd be hilarious to get someone kicked off a skyscraper.
So in my mind too, before they said, I think they alluded to before they flat out said that Lee's brother got stabbed. In my mind, I was thinking, is Lee related to Kwan from Cobra Kai? But then I thought, oh wait, no, Kwan is Korean and Lee is Chinese. That wouldn't work. But evidently they both got stabbed.
That would be hilarious. Both. Then you know what I was thinking too at the end of the movie? Are we gonna have a good sequel to this movie in 30 years where Lee and Connor Day team up to fight their old master 30 years from now?
Sensei LaRusso and Sensei Han.
No,
sorry, Shifu Han.
What's that guy's name? The Lone Shark. I don't think they ever said his name.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, they have to go and team up him. And he's like this crazy old guy who's got, insane amount of money. He's got to torch their lives. Like, dude, I tried to get a guy killed and beat off a skyscraper. Like, dude, the 2020s were crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't think they would ever stoop to that. Because I think they said this movie takes place a couple years after Cobra Kai ended. So we actually might be in the present in the Miyagi-Verse because when I was editing our Cobra Kai video all those months ago, I think it said Cobra Kai ended technically in 2020. The summer of
before the
2020.
virus.
Well, technically, yeah. It says right here. Karate Kid Legends features a storyline set 3 years after the events of Cobra Kai. So that means that this movie took place in 2023. So yeah. Also, we already said spoilers earlier, but Bill Zabka does appear as Johnny Lawrence at the very end. And I guess it was an amusing cameo. There's one guy behind us that was loving it.
Yeah, he was like clapping his hands like,
because they're opening up.
Too, but
The context was that the place that Lee helped out was a pizza place, and they're opening up new locations. So they sent a pizza all the way to California to LaRusso, and then Johnny Lawrence picks it up. He's like, "Oh wow, pizza! We could totally do that. We're missing out. Miyagi-Do, but Do is Dough. It was amusing the first time, the couple times, yeah, kind of overstates welcome. But in my mind, it was just good to see Johnny Lawrence again.
It was definitely, I will put money on it that they definitely filmed that scene some point after the movie wrapped filming. Because I don't know if they really anticipated how popular Johnny Lawrence was.
No,
Uh,
they definitely filmed that scene with all the sets still up in Cobra Kai. I guarantee it.
During Cobra Kai.
I think that yeah, they definitely filmed that during Cobra
I meant
Kai.
not during the filming of this movie. I think they filmed it after the filming had wrapped up or something.
Oh, you mean for Cobra Kai?
No, for this movie. I think they
Oh.
filmed, I don't think that was planned. I think they added the Johnny
No,
Lawrence
I
scene
think
later.
it might have been planned.
I don't think so.
Really? You don't think so? Real quick too. At the Miyagi area in California, you briefly see oil drills
Oh.
in the back.
I can't remember if that was in the
I
TV
don't think it
show.
was.
I
Miyagi
don't
was
remember.
he had everything apparently. Rich land, knowledge of karate to pass on to generations, oil.
Could you imagine like he's just sitting on like a huge like thing of oil they gotta drill out and next thing you know Miyagi's rich or Daniel-san's rich.
Well, Daniel-san's already rich.
Well, it's funny, he owns car dealerships. Like you probably have money, but I wouldn't say it's like I think he's a little richer than they portray him in the show, or they shouldn't be as rich as he portrayed in the show. But the point is, yeah, he's got money.
They're kicking the competition.
I know.
Got
Ah,
anything
such a good
else?
show.
I know. It makes me just want to watch the show again.
That's what I kept thinking. It's like, yeah, Cobra Kai did this so much better. Like, why even bother watching this?
Yeah, I think they just wanted to get Jackie Chan in a Karate Kid movie so then they could all be in one universe. Even though they could have easily done that through Cobra Kai.
Well, we haven't seen what's her name.
Hilary Swank.
Yes, we haven't seen her back,
I
so
don't
who
think,
knows?
Craig, I don't think she'll ever come back.
No, there's gonna be a sequel to this movie, but now he's gonna get trained by all four masters: Jackie Chan, Daniel-san, Johnny Lawrence-san, and Hilary Swank-san.
That would be some movie. Who are they going to train?
I don't know. I just you get everyone back. It's like Endgame. You get
Oh,
all the
God.
everyone's coming into different planes
Karate
to
Kid
help them.
Endgame.
Oh, that'd be awful.
Don't give them any ideas.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you've got to put Karate Kid to rest. I know that we're in the age of like never-ending franchises, but these people aren't going to
Well,
live forever.
I guess that segues into the future. It's really, what else could you do? You have Cobra Kai. You've had that for 6 seasons. What else can you really do for Karate Kid? Because at least Cobra Kai, they're able to get away with a lot more and do a lot more. And not only because they were clever in what they were doing, but Cobra Kai, it was a lot easier. This is Karate Kid. Are you going to train another Karate Kid? You can have a Karate Kid army.
Maybe Jaden Smith falls to the dark side of karate and he becomes a bad guy.
Karate Kid Generations.
Intergenerational war.
Karate Kid First Contact. It'll tell the story of Shimpo Miyagi. That'll be the first contact.
Oh my God, that's actually a great idea. Karate Kid Origins.
No, I like First Contact better.
Oh yeah, from like the
Karate Kid Nemesis.
Karate Kid Into Darkness.
Karate Kid Beyond.
Karate Kid the Winter Student.
The Winter Student. Oh, the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, like he got brainwashed into the dark side of karate.
The Karate Kid Wrath of Connor Day. That was the rival.
Wrath of Connor.
Yeah, that sounds better. Wrath of Connor. So many terrible ideas we have, but I really, as great as it is to see Jackie Chan, what else can you really do with the Karate Kid? Would
Well,
they even?
I think you got a point. I think Karate Kid Origins. I think
No.
that they could have a whole trilogy set in the 1600s.
Why? No.
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm saying it's a horrible idea. It would be hilarious to see them try to do it.
Because right now, it doesn't, on the Wikipedia page, it doesn't say anything about the future of the Karate Kid universe. So in my mind, I definitely think they have something planned. Because it's not like this movie cost a whole lot. It came out last Friday. This is a Tuesday we're recording this. It had a budget of 45 million and grossed 46 million. It's not even, it hasn't been out for a week yet, so it's not like it's costing a whole lot to make.
And it'll probably break even, I imagine.
Yeah, it definitely didn't pump a whole lot into it.
Which is smart. I mean, it's not like these Marvel movies where they cost like a small country's GDP to make.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious if they do a Karate Kid Origins.
No, there's no way.
I don't think they're gonna do it, but I'd almost want to see it just for how weird it would be. Like, it's in the past. Maybe it actually fights like a dragon. Maybe they actually,
Oh my
gotta
God, a
save
dragon?
China. Something ridiculous.
Yeah, I just don't know what you do. You really shouldn't do anything, but I don't know. They want to keep milking the Karate Kid brand. I'd rather see a Rush Hour 4 than this.
Aren't they
I,
making one?
I don't know. The movie isn't terrible. I know we talked a lot of smack about it, but it really isn't terrible. It's just derivative and unnecessary, but it has some inklings of charm in it when you see Daniel-san and Jackie Chan. But I would not recommend it. I think you have to be like a big fan to recommend it to a casual.
I guess that's the other thing too. Imagine you only saw this movie. Granted, why would you? But say you only saw this movie, you're like, who cares about this guy from California? Who cares about this old Asian guy? It's like obviously Jackie Chan, but like if you don't know who these people are, like you're probably like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just a pretty boring movie about some guy from Beijing training some washed up Italian boxer.
Yeah. Well, not it's not terrible.
I guess it's just
It's
not good
okay.
either.
Yeah, it's
It's like
okay.
it's like a 4 out of 10 at best.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Oh, one more thing too that I thought that was funny. Remember when was it Victoria and Lee?
Oh.
They were on that date.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the friend was, I guess, the biggest wingman because he was like playing the guitar for them and like
Oh
singing
yeah,
for
top of the
them.
building. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was for like. I remember some of the background playing the guitar and he actually started singing, and got a chuckle out of me.
Yeah, that was funny. Didn't have that charming Cobra Kai humor though.
Oh yeah, Cobra Kai, top tier. This pretty mid for real, for real.
Yeah, but again, I guess the saving grace is we're not really saving grace. A good thing was it was nice to see Jackie Chan again.
What we liked about it, well, I guess that's what got put butts in seats, right? We got to see Jackie Chan and I guess Daniel San as well.
Yeah.
Even though it's more so Jackie Chan.
I would not recommend it only to diehard fans, I guess. But oh,
Like really, what does this do for you? Like even if you're the biggest Karate Kid fan, like what does it do for you? Nothing. You've already seen it before.
yeah, that's the biggest thing is that's just derivative. But Craig, with all that being said, this has been the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. I'm Colin.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg, Craig. You
Yes.
missed an easy one right there. And we will see you next week. How could you miss that one?